Good morning. Let's talk about libido or sex drive, because it's super important. Not only does it give us a little bit of satisfaction, it's also essential for bonding and love. It's a common presenting symptom. No way is it the commonest, but low testosterone does not present with one symptom. Low mood, anxiety, depersonalization, low energy, then libido. A flag in libido is probably third on the hit list. So what do you need for a healthy libido? Obviously, you need healthy male androgen levels. Both, or all three, free testosterone, DHT, and estrogen are integral for a healthy libido. So when you talk about testosterone, you must actually consider it as the three bioavailable androgens, not just testosterone. That's a bit of a simplistic way of looking at it. What else do you need? You need to be in the right environment. One of my guys was complaining that he didn't have a strong libido. And I said, well, where are you? He says, I'm on the oil rig. And I said, surrounded by a group of sweaty, dirty men. And he said, yes. I said, do you want a strong libido? Save it for when you get home for the missus. So you have to be in the right situation. What else do you need? You need to be rested. So sleep is obviously integral to that. If you are tired, and it's not as a result of low testosterone, because low testosterone contributes to fatigue, then you won't be Randy Goat Boy. You're not going to be up for it if you're shattered. What else? Let's consider the hormones. So pregnenolone is considered the father hormone. That cascades down to cortisol, aldosterone, and testosterone. This should lead quite nicely on to the hypothesis that anxiety, it's not a hypothesis, it's not a theory, it's fact. Anxiety will cause a decrease in libido. What is your predominant hormone when you have anxiety? Cortisol. You're often cortisol dominant. So if you've got this cascade of hormones and you are cortisol dominant, by the very nature of that statement, you will have a slight deficiency in aldosterone and testosterone. And if we think of libido as purely testosterone, then it makes sense that you will not have a healthy libido because you are cortisol dominant. Anxiety is far more complicated than that, obviously. Neurotransmitters, other hormones are all involved. So again, it's a simplistic way of looking at it. But if you've got anxiety, or let's talk about stress. We live in a very stressful world. By the very nature of it, it's abnormal. The machine. Let's not go into the machine and my conspiracy theories. But it should make sense that, I'll say it again, we are so far removed from nature. Our physical and psychological well-being is compromised as a result. It's 100% true. So stress, sympathetic overload. You've got your autonomic nervous system, and this is an involuntary nervous system. There are two elements to this. There's the parasympathetic, rest, relaxation, digestion, libido. And you've got your sympathetic system, fight or flight, running away from the saber-toothed tiger, tackling that antelope that you're going to gorge on later. These are involuntary elements of your nervous system. So if you are stressed, and stress is an abnormal reaction to day-to-day things that you should be able to cope with, and we're atrocious at coping with stress, you will not have a strong libido. So whilst low libido is a common presenting symptom because of low testosterone, does it mean that normalizing your testosterone level will 100% automatically guarantee you strong wood? The answer to that question is obviously no. Let's not get into erections now. They are a complex neurovascular mechanism under hormonal control. Let's concentrate on libido. When you start testosterone replacement therapy, if you are under the Men's Health Clinic, you are most likely going to be on testosterone cypionate and HCG. How long does it take for your libido to improve? Now, there obviously, as we've said ad nauseum, there is no one-size-fits-all protocol. There's no one-size-fits-all methodology. You have your expectations. Your journey is going to be different from the next person. But there are a few constants. Now let's consider HCG. The half-life of HCG is about 2.2 days. So you will have stable levels after about 11 days. HCG stroke LH is important in libido. Not only does HCG stimulate intratesticular production of testosterone and then estrogen, and these hormones are super important for libido, there are LH receptors in the brain. Stimulate these, you can have a sense of well-being and improvement in your libido. So normally, within 2 weeks, you should notice something. Again, let's go back to physiology. If you have presented with a primary hypogonadism, and that usually manifests itself in an elevated LH and FSH, is HCG going to have a dramatic effect on your libido because you've already got a high LH? The answer to that question is no. So stop comparing your journey with somebody else's. We tend to see an improvement in libido, especially with the secondary guys who tend to have, or they do have, a low LH and FSH due to whatever cause, but suppression essentially of both the hypothalamus and pituitary. So you can see an improvement in libido within 2 weeks. It's also important to remember the placebo effect. There's nothing wrong with the placebo effect if it's working positively for you. Lots of my guys have struggled for many years. They've received shocking treatment or shocking advice. They've struggled in silence. And sometimes merely coming to see me and being started on treatment is an automatic, immediate boost. They've been stressed, even with their low state. That manifests itself in stress. Some guys say, I felt immediately better after the consultation, but it's because it's the psychology. It's got nothing to do with the HCG injection I've just given you or the testosterone injection I've just given you. It's psychology. You cannot underemphasize the importance of psychology in well-being. What else? So the testosterone's interesting as well, because obviously everybody that presents has low testosterone. Now, we've already discussed that you need to have a healthy level of free testosterone, dihydrotestosterone and estradiol to have a healthy libido. It takes 5 half-lives for your levels to become stable. Does that mean that you will not feel an improvement until 5 half-lives, which ranges between about 4 and 8 weeks, depending on SHBG, creatinine clearance, and a number of other factors? The answer to that question again is no. People often feel a sense of improvement, an increase in their libido prior to this. But you can't talk in absolutes, unfortunately. Some guys don't feel anything, don't feel any libido, and they still after 6 months don't feel an improvement in libido. But it's normally, I say normally, it's always because of another factor. We are rather complicated organisms, but we should break things down very simply, logically and methodically. People place too much emphasis on testosterone to cure everything. Libido, their mental well-being, their energy levels. If you're not eating the right foods, if you're not sleeping properly, you will not see the improvement in your overall health and the specific parameters that you want to improve. This is a really important part of the journey. It's providing you not only with realistic expectations, but it's also providing you with the necessary support and appreciation stroke understanding that you have to address everything. I've got low testosterone, so I'm on testosterone now and I'm not cured. It doesn't work like that. Life does not work like that. Today is day one. Testosterone will give you the drive and determination, but it's still up to you. This is a really important message. You guys have struggled for so long, and it's wonderful that you've actually sought help, and it's actually necessary that you seek help. And there's nothing to be ashamed about or embarrassed about in seeking help. We all need help from our fellow man at times. And handing over a little bit of responsibility to me is integral to your overall well-being. I've got guys who have self-medicated and they've literally transferred over to us, and we've swapped out their underground gear for a pharmaceutical gear, and their levels haven't changed dramatically, but their overall sense of well-being has improved significantly. You cannot overemphasize the importance of this. You can't. So when we talk about libido, I want to improve my libido, I can make your male androgen levels healthy, but you must consider every other aspect of health in order to actually fully appreciate that you cannot put all of your eggs into one basket and believe that simply optimizing your male androgen levels will make you Randy Goat Boy. It's multifactorial. Will testosterone improve your libido? It 100% should, because you have a deficit or deficiency, and correcting that deficiency, and we know that libido is associated with low testosterone, it should improve, but you must address other aspects of your health in order to fully appreciate a healthy libido. And we all want a healthy libido. It's good fun and necessary for procreation of the species. What else? I was going to say something else, but I've been banging on for 15 minutes. What else have I got to say? Sexy time. Let's talk about sexy time. No, I can't remember now. I did have another important point, but I've got to go to work. Yeah. Okay. No, just another quick addendum. Again, it really comes down to this healthy ratio of free testosterone to estrogen to DHT. We have found through microdosing, so daily injections of testosterone sipping and HCG, it is the most effective way of achieving this healthy hormonal balance that we should all be seeking. It doesn't matter if it's Monday, Saturday, what day of the week it is. We want to achieve stable levels irrespective of the time, irrespective of when you're injecting. True stability will give you the best chance of long-term, sustainable physical and psychological well-being, and to become a horny goat boy.